I'm joining you now from the NComputing booth. NComputing slogan here, if you can see it up here, let me show you. It's the $70 PC. So what NComputing does is they take one server, if you will, or PC, and they make it accessible by a small hardware device to multiple remote terminals. So the idea that they're trying to market is you buy one computer, and then you can use that computer with one of their thin client devices, which are $70 each, and so you can do that and cut costs on the hardware. Now, their primary market right now is educational or potentially the business market. The limitation that they have for consumers is that the operating system that has to run on the server has to be a server operating system. So yeah, right now you'd likely get like Windows Server 2008, and for each of the clients that are accessing that server, each of these terminals would require an access license from Microsoft. Educational market, very cheap because Microsoft discounts those, but for consumers, it's not really a consumer model or a consumer operating system that allows you to, and a lot of applications, consumer applications, don't support being installed on server operating systems. That being said, Microsoft is coming out with a new server called Multipoint Server 2010, and that does have more of a consumer focus for it. Basically Windows 7 for multiple users. And so once that's out, I think this will be a really attractive option for any individual who's trying. You might have a bunch of kids at home. You want to give them all access to a computer, but don't want to have to buy a computer for everybody. Well, you can go in and for basically $70 a pop plus the cost of your monitor, you can provide everybody with PC functionality that's pretty robust and usable, rather than having to buy a PC for every individual in your home. So let me walk you through a couple of the products here. Trying to fit in here. So here is their new USB device that they just announced. This device, there's actually two clients here. There's software that runs on the server. So this bottom laptop here, in this case, is running as a server. It connects via USB to one of these remote clients. And that remote client is then able to log in without any terminal, any PC, but just using this device only. You plug it into this monitor and keyboard and mouse, and this is a remote terminal. This is being powered by USB. And over here they show they have a model that's plugged into USB hub. So this server down here is plugged in via USB to this USB hub, and for each client you need one USB adapter, and they can access 4 different PCs being powered by this one server. Now, beyond, so those are the new models that are run by USB. Those are ideal for maybe non-IT applications where you don't have an IT guru to come in and run an Ethernet network. Now, they've got a couple other models. They have an intermediate model which runs over Category 5 Ethernet cabling, but it's actually not running Ethernet protocol. It's running a proprietary protocol, so it's directly connected Cat 5 cable from a client terminal to your server. With a PCI card that has 5 Ethernet ports on it. It has to be a direct connection, can't run through a switch. And then they have their kind of premium tier of service, which runs over standard Ethernet. Right now, 10100 Ethernet is really the capacity of the chip that they have on their client. They're releasing a new model that's going to be capable of taking advantage of gigabit connection speeds, and that model allows for up to 30 PCs, I believe 31 clients per PC. So we showed you the LG network monitor in another video. If you saw that, they take these terminals that they have here. Let me show you again what one of them looks like. So this is an example of one of their terminals here. It has USB, PS2, and it has audio as well on their L series. You can extend USB as well. It supports flash drives, and it can support things like cameras if people want to be able to download applications. So it's really perfect for a lab environment in a school. That's really where they've seen a whole lot of success. It allows schools to be able to deploy a whole lot more computers than they could otherwise. It's a little bit easier administratively, and I think, you know, hopefully in the future, with once Windows Multipoint Server comes out, they'll be able to have a more consumer-oriented focus as well. So that's NComputing. Also the same thing that is the back end for the network monitor application from LG that we saw yesterday. They have this hardware integrated into certain of their new monitors.